Hello everyone, my name is Cheyenne Latte. Welcome to the channel. If you are returning, welcome. If you are new, I want to express how important it is to do independent studies. Y'all, I cannot stress it enough of independent studies gives you a well-roundedness of what you want to learn, what you want to do, how you want to execute, where you want to go in life. If you are not studying for yourself, yes, textbook studies is good. Yes, going to school and getting a degree is good. Yes, working and getting experience is good. But what we lack, what we constantly keep complaining about is, oh, we don't have the resources, or oh, we don't have this, or oh, we don't have that. But nobody's doing the extensive research to discover the things that they want to discover and implement into whatever they are trying to push out for themselves. Everybody wants somebody else to do it or want to take credit for somebody else's work. Let me tell you. Let me tell you. The government has been feeding off black and brown individuals for since the world started. Let's be honest. Okay? They've done Trail of Tears to Native Americans, and like they raped the Africans coming to America. Like they've done a lot of damage. And it's just like we constantly, even though we fought and fought, yes, we fought, and I'm not going to discredit anyone who fought. We fought to get to this point, 2025. We fought to get here. It wasn't easy. We had to have blood, sweat, and tears, like literally people that we love be murdered in front of our faces to get to where we are. To just say, hey, we're going to just not continue to fight. That don't sound right. It just don't. For me, I'm not a person who just sits back and allow the government to just be. I want a better lifestyle for myself, for my family, and for the community if they want a lifestyle for themselves. But I can't force you to have a better lifestyle. Is you have to want it. You have to want to do better for yourself. You have to continue to educate yourself. Yes, we went through primary school, secondary school, college, and all of that good stuff, but that's still not enough because they took away a lot of the things that we probably want to discover. We probably want to know. I want to know everything that's going on in New York. New York, I feel like has a catacombs of its own. I don't know that in particular, but I do know that they have hidden tunnels that's deep within the ground, and I want to explore that like a crazy person. Yes, I know. You know that one black person that gets killed first in a scary movie? I would hope it don't be me, but it's just intriguing or interesting to know and experience. Not just by myself. You thought I was crazy. I'm not going by myself. We go in a group. We go in a pack. Okay? If anything is happening, I need somebody to be aware of it. And I can't go alone because I may be too chicken to deal with. I don't know. But I definitely want to do that. Just explore what other things is hidden. There's a lot of things going on in our states, and we are not digging up the pieces to put it together. We're just allowing the system to tear us apart. And it's just like, do y'all not know food stamps or just a system like that was created, designed for the black and brown community? Are y'all aware of that? I know a lot of you guys probably are. Maybe you aren't. But we've created that system to help support the black and brown community because the other parties didn't want to support us, didn't want to give us resources. They wanted to keep us segregated. Look, now they took over the program. Now they're monitoring it and monetizing it for their own gain. But here's the thing. They say it's for everybody. But why are we still segregated? Why? Education is still segregated. Where we live is still segregated. You think New York is very diverse? Yes, we are diverse in people. But the way we think, we are very segregated. Where we live, depending on geographic location in New York State, we're segregated. Look at upstate New York. Look at Long Island. We're still segregated by color or race and by education and by just social class, economic class. We're still segregated. You need to do your own soul searching. If you want the truth, you have to do that soul searching for yourself. not only for just history, but for yourself on a social, emotional, and spiritual level, on an intellectual level. If you want to be wiser, if you want to think, think better than what you're thinking now, or however you may frame it. You have to do that soul searching for yourself. I can give you the resources, but you still have to do the digging. I want everybody to be equipped with knowing that I am not going to rest until I get the answers that I want. And the way I'm going to get the answers is doing a self study. Independent study is very important, even for our children. Teaching them to know how to just go and find the research for themselves. Understanding, excuse me, y'all, understanding that it is highly important to, understand the reality for yourself. I can't tell, I can give you my version of what the reality is, but you may not believe me, or you take my word and your life is not what you thought it was going to be. So now you're stuck. And now that's a problem, because we got so much propaganda going on and so much things that's happening that's right under our nose. We like the police. You know how people do things and right in front of the police's faces, and they just don't even understand that the crime is right there. Yeah, it's like that. A lot of us see it, a lot of us is aware of it, and a lot of us is like, we're not dealing with that. But then there's a lot of people who don't mind living in that lifestyle because they don't want to cause friction and chaos. However, we're not the ones who's causing it. Okay, we're not going to shift blame and throw raise our hands to the other parties, but we're not the ones causing the problems. Hello, do you not see what we're going through right now? So once again, I want everybody to do independent studying, whatever that looks like for you. We're going to walk down that lane together. We're going to express that together. We're going to seek that out together. I want us to all have our own discoveries for what we feel like we didn't gain growing up. Okay? So thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. I hope it ignites, something in you. I hope it's, start sizzling, something in you, start causing sparks or whatever. Not for you to self-destruct, but for you to really be like questioning things. You should always be questioning and have an intuitive mindset. You should never be okay with somebody giving you directions and you're not questioning. That's why people hate when their kids start questioning, because they just want them to just listen and do. And that's a poor mentality. And as a black and brown individual, we need to break that generational curse, because why am I just listening to rules? So if you told me to just jump off the bridge, I can't question you. I'm just supposed to jump off the bridge and kill myself? Like, no. I need to understand a why, or what is this for? What did you sacrifice me for? I need to know before I go. You're not going to just end my life just like that. It's just not happening. I need to know all of these things. And at the end of the day, you might bring me back to society, or I don't know. But at the end of the day, do your own research, learn, share it with others, have conversations. Yes, these topics are tough to deal with. Yes, people shun away from these topics because they don't want to battle, but it's no right or wrong answer to it, because we're all discovering the things that's already been there. That all you're doing is researching. You go into Google and asking Google, like, hey, this is my question. Da 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 da. Where do I start? Or you can ask ChatGPT that. Hey, this is what I'm thinking. This is what's been on my mind for some time. Where do I start in my findings? Just because I want to get to the root to the tutor, honey. Yeah. I want to really get a understanding, a deeper analysis of what it is and why it's tugging at my heart. I cannot sleep without knowing the real roots of all of these things of happening. If I'm going to work in this environment, if I'm going to work for education, or if I'm going to work for the government, or if I'm going to start my nonprofit or start any business, I want to know the people I'm going to serve. I need to know the deeper reasons, like the roots of what's causing these situations and why, and how to target it at the root. It's like a hair follicle. You got an ingrown hair in your skin, and you're just like, ooh, you hurt. Ooh, you hurt. and you try to pinch it out with your fingers and it's just not coming out, not coming out, not coming out. And then you get them tweezers because you just over it. You get them tweezers and you just like, boop, and you take it out. And then it doesn't hurt anymore. The pain is gone. Once you do the discoveries for yourself and you pull the scales over your eyes like Jesus did for the man, he healed the man's eyes and the scales came off. Once you do that and like take off them scales and really see what life is like, actually, how about this? Watch They Live. Watch They Live, because I'm going to watch it. I'm going to watch it tonight. Watch They Live. I'm going to do a movie review on They Live. Watch that movie and you tell me how you feel about it after. Because that's a movie that came out in 1988, if I'm not mistaken. That's a old movie before I was born. An old movie, and it's talking about AI. It's talking about how people lived and what he saw when he put on them glasses. Yeah, I need everybody to be aware. They don't make movies for no reason. There's always a reason why a movie like that comes out. There's always a reason. They're always saying some subliminal messages in the music, in the movies, and whatever you're listening to, watching. It's always something for you to have a listening ear for. And if you're not paying attention, you're going to miss the vision. Just like Jesus said, if you're not preparing yourself for the second coming, or not Jesus, sorry, Paul said, if you're not preparing yourself for the second coming, you're going to miss out. In Revelations, it's telling you to prepare yourself for the second coming. We don't know when it's coming, but prepare yourself for it, or you're going to miss out. And I want everybody to do their independent studies, develop what their findings are, put it together, make a concoction, be very inspired by the drive of wanting to know more information, the drive of wanting to express and to share it to your children, to their children, to whoever else. And really enjoy this journey. Don't just say, hey, this is another thing that sounds fun, but it isn't. Make it fun. You can always make it fun. Make it fun. Go on field trips. Kids don't go on field trips no more. So when your kid's out of school and you have time to take your kids on field trips. Go to another state, travel to another state's like museum or whatever. Discover history there. If you want to start in the state that you're in, start in the state that you're in first. And then once you got the history and the nitty gritty of that state, then go to the next one. Make it fun. Everything is fun when you make it fun. When you say, oh, I don't want to do that, you make it boring. You put negativity in the air. So please, y'all, please do me that favor. Go into your independent studies bag and learn for yourself. It's important for your personal and professional development. I promise you. I won't steer you the wrong way because I do it for myself. And I always rant and rave about what I found. And everybody's just like, whoa, you have a very intuitive mindset. And I'm just like, well, I thank the Lord for giving it to me because he didn't want me to just be oblivious like a lot of other people. Okay? Stay woke, y'all. Stay woke. Don't be asleep. Don't let the enemy win. Stay woke and have a great day.